What's up, sis? What is going on, Shmoney Gang? Welcome back to my channel. And I know, before y'all cuss me out, I know it has been some months. I know. I feel like I keep jumping into this and then life starts lifing and then I disappear. So the last time you guys see me was like, what? December, January ish. And I am so sorry because from January on, I had to really sit down and get my goals together. I had to get my goals together. I had to set up what I wanted to achieve for 2026. And I really just had to lock in. So I know I said I would be consistent with content creating, which I low key have been. I've been in the gym. So I have been consistent with that. And with going to the gym, I have been doing my gym content. If you've seen it on here, great. If not, go check out my gym content because that is what I have been consistent in. But I've missed you, sis, and I am glad that I got a moment to be back and talking to you. There's something someone said to me a while back, and it's stuck with me ever since. Like, I've literally been thinking about this all of the time. They told me, I think you finally found your lane.
I think you finally found your lane.
And they were talking about my candied fruit business. Now, before I go any further, I will say that I know that they meant this as a compliment. Like, I truly believe that this was a compliment. I don't think there was any bad intention behind it. They were seeing something I was doing that was gaining traction and they wanted to encourage me. But for some reason, that statement bothered me. The more I thought about it, the more I thought about how it wasn't the compliment that bothered me. It was the assumption behind it. The assumption that because you see me doing one thing right now must mean that is the thing that I'm meant to do forever. The assumption that because one thing is working, that that is the thing that is going to work forever, or that is the only thing that I am capable of. That's never been who I am. I've always been the type of person that tries things. If I have an idea, I'll probably go explore it. If something interests me, I'm most likely going to learn more about it. If I think I can build it, create it, give it a shot, put my best effort to it, I'm definitely going to give it a try. Will every idea work? No. Will every business succeed? Probably not. Will every project take off? Most likely not. But I've never measured my life based on whether everything succeeds. I've measured it based on whether I've had the courage to try because every attempt teaches you something. Every failure teaches you something. Every project leaves you with skills, techniques, new things that you can take on into the new venture. A lot of people only celebrate successful attempts. They see the thing that finally gains momentum and say,
See, that's what you should have been doing all along.
but they don't realize that the thing that is working today has been built of all of the attempts that came before it. The ideas, the mistakes, the every failed attempt came with a lesson learned. The pivots, the lessons, the growth. The version of you that people admire today was built by the version of you that they've never seen. And that's why being placed into one lane has never sat right with me because I don't want to be defined by one thing. I don't want my entire identity to be defined by one business, one skill, one project, or one season of my life. Now, don't get me wrong. I absolutely believe in focus. I believe in discipline and I believe in consistency. I believe that if you're building something, you absolutely need to give it the time and the effort for it to actually grow. But there's a difference between focus and limitation. Focus says, this is what I'm prioritizing now. Limitation says, this is all you'll ever be. And those two things are very different. Right now, I may be focused on one thing, but that doesn't mean my dreams stop there. That doesn't mean my creativity stops there. That doesn't mean my vision stops there. One of the biggest lessons I've learned is that people like to define you based on the chapter of your life that you're in right now. If they meet you during a difficult season, they'll assume that you're struggling. If they meet you during a successful season, they'll assume that you've had it all together. If they meet you while you're building one business, they'll assume that that is your identity. But people are constantly evolving. We're supposed to evolve. We're supposed to grow. We're supposed to discover new things about ourselves throughout life. The funny thing is, while people were telling me that I finally found my lane, I was already thinking about what I was going to do next. I had other ideas, I had other goals, other plans, other visions for my future, things that nobody knew about. And that's another lesson that I've learned. People can only judge you based off of the information that they have. They don't know what's written in your notebook. They don't know what's on your vision board. And they don't know the conversations that you're having with yourself. They don't know the dreams that you're quietly building behind the scenes. They only know what you have chosen to show them. And because of that, people will sometimes place limitations on you without even realizing that they're doing it. Not because they dislike you, not because they're trying to hurt you, but simply because they can't see the entire picture. And honestly, that's okay. They don't have to. It's not their responsibility to see the entire picture of your life. I've reached a point in my life where I don't need everyone to understand what I'm building personally because it's for me. It's not for everyone else to see. It's what I want for myself and my future and my dreams and my visions. I don't need everyone to see the vision before it exists. I don't need everyone to approve of every idea. Sometimes the greatest thing you can do is continue building quietly, continue learning, continue growing, continue evolving, and let the results speak for themselves. But here's the part that I really want people to hear. I don't believe in limiting yourself to one thing because sometimes the thing that you're meant to do hasn't even been discovered yet. What if the idea that could change your life is sitting in your notes app right now? What if the business that you're meant to build is one that you've been sitting and talking yourself out of? What if the skill that you are meant to learn is one that you're too afraid to start? What if your breakthrough is behind a leap of faith? So many people stay stuck because they're waiting for certainty. They're waiting to know if an idea will work. They're waiting for guarantees, waiting for proof, waiting for permission. But life doesn't work like that. Sometimes you have to move before you have all of the answers. Sometimes you have to trust yourself enough to give it a try. And no, every idea won't work. Every idea isn't supposed to work. I've had ideas that failed I've started things that never took off. I've changed directions. I've pivoted. I've wanted to start over, start from scratch and do something else. And my ideas, they come and go every single day. I've learned hard lessons, and every single thing I've done has taught me lessons. Every single thing I've done has taught me something valuable. Every attempt gave me experience. Every failure gave me information. Every lesson prepared me for something that came later. Nothing was wasted. And that's why I encourage everyone to take a leap of faith. Start the business, launch the channel, create the content, write the book, learn the skill, apply for the opportunity. Try the thing that's been sitting on your heart because the worst thing isn't failing. The worst thing is spending years wondering what would have happened if you would have gave yourself a real chance. What would have happened if you trusted yourself? What would have happened if you stopped worrying about if everyone else seen your vision? What would have happened if you took the first step anyway? I think ambitious people make the mistake of looking to everyone else to see if they're approved to do more than what the box those people put them in. Or they're waiting for approval for everyone else to do more than what was expected of them. We wait for validation, we wait for approval, and we wait for people to tell us that we can do something. We wait for people to tell us that we're qualified to do something. We wait for someone to tell us it's okay to pivot. It's okay to grow. It's okay to evolve. But you don't need permission. You don't need permission to reinvent yourself. You don't need permission to pursue something new. You don't need permission to dream bigger. And you definitely don't need permission to become someone you've never been before. Every successful person you've admired has become multiple people throughout their lifetime. They weren't one thing forever. They adapted, they've changed, they've pivoted, they've failed and started over again. They've fallen and they've gotten back up to do something else. They learned, they expanded, they've took the lessons from their failed attempts and applied it to something new. And that's exactly what life is supposed to be. So, if you've ever been told to stay in your lane, the better question is who decided the road only had one lane? Maybe you're meant to build multiple things. Maybe you're meant to explore multiple passions. Maybe you're meant to become multiple versions of yourself throughout your lifetime. And maybe that's not confusion. Maybe that's growth. At the end of the day, I don't want my life to be defined by one title or one business or one project or one season. I want to be remembered as someone who wasn't afraid to try, someone who wasn't afraid to fail, and someone who wasn't afraid to evolve. Because every time you take a leap of faith of an idea, you're giving yourself the opportunity to discover what you're really capable of. And if that means people don't always understand what I'm doing, I'm okay with that because I'd rather spend my life exploring my potential rather than spending my life trying to fit into someone else's box of expectations for me and the definition of who they think I should be. So, no, I don't think I found my lane. I think I'm building my own road. And I'm giving myself permission to add new exits, add new destinations, add new twists, and add new turns. And whether that's a highway or a byway, I'm never going to limit myself to just one lane. I'm going to explore every lane and every exit that pops up into my head because we only have one life. So why would I let one lane define my whole life? There's people out there too scared and terrified to take a leap of faith. And honestly, there's people, those same people that are scared to take the leap of faith are the people that are 40, 50, 60 years old, wishing that they would have dreamed bigger, learned more skills, or did more things back when they were 20, 30 years old. So I don't want to get to 45, 50 years old wondering what my life would have been like if I took a leap of faith when I was 29. And that's what life is. Stop sitting in a corner wishing that you could get up and take the leap of faith when you absolutely can. Get up and do something with yourself. Go learn that skill. Go apply for that job. You only have one life to live. So why live it in a box when there's still so much life to live ahead of you, especially if you're young? But even if you're not young, even if you're 45, 50 years old, you still have life to live. So take that leap of faith and don't wait for others to approve of your ideas. That has been sitting on my heart because when someone said that to me, I was kind of just like, I've had multiple businesses. I have multiple businesses, but that doesn't mean that I put everything out there at once. So don't put me in a box because this is the one that you see everyone gravitating to. This is the one I chose to let everyone gravitate to. But that doesn't mean it all stops there. So, lesson for the day, take the leap of faith. Explore your options. Take the ideas out of your head, put them on paper, and explore them. The worst thing you can do is not try. If this resonated with you, go ahead and like and leave a comment. What's an idea that you've been sitting on that you haven't started yet? Or what's a skill that you want to learn that you haven't put the effort into learning? Or better yet, let me know in the comments what's holding you back from taking the leap of faith on something that could potentially change your life. Drop your answer in the comments for me. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that way you will be on time for the next video. I will see you guys later.